I just hit record here, guys. So we're going to go ahead and kick this off. If people jump in, that will be great. Otherwise, this is recorded, so people can refer back to this later on, and hopefully they'll see how much fun we're having and want to log on in the future. So thanks everybody for being here. We're going to make this short and simple. We got a couple of topics we do want to discuss. Resting, or not resting, but total energy expenditure is going to be one of them. In case you're wondering, where should my calories be and how to determine that. We also have a fun challenge, or not really a challenge, but a fun drawing that we'll be doing for anybody who wants to continue to invite friends and family on. If you're having a good time and you're learning a lot, then we want to encourage that as well. And Candy, go ahead and start out with the introduction here.
Okay. So I think that it would be good to, if we can have everybody speak or have sound from everybody, is just go ahead and say your name and where you are and maybe who invited you into the challenge. So I'm Candy Mitzel, and I am one of your health coaches along with Casey, and we're out in Tigard, Oregon. Lynn, go ahead.
I'm Lynn Albin, and I'm from Newburgh, Oregon, and Candy invited me.
And Brenda.
Brenda Erber from Iowa, and I kind of invited myself.
Awesome.
Carrie.
I'm Carrie. Am I on?
You are.
Okay. I'm Carrie Calvert, and this is my husband Chris.
Hi.
And we actually are. We have our own room, but Candy and Casey are our mentors and leaders, and so I wanted to hop on to their group and say hi.
Hi.
Carrie's my sister, if you see some resemblance.
I don't see her.
Oh, you don't see it? I see it. Okay.
And then Donna.
Hello.
Donna, can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
Oh, all right.
Can you
Okay.
see?
We can't see you, but we can hear you, so that's good.
I can see you.
Okay, that's
So maybe I
fine.
have to tap my picture.
Yes, go ahead and tap your video so we can see you.
Oh, I don't know. I see Lynn. I'm not seeing me. Anyways, I'm Donna Martin, and I'm from the Kalamazoo, Michigan area, and Candy invited me to join.
Awesome. Good to hear from you, Donna.
Hi, Casey.
Hi. All right, guys. So let's get into the meat of this. I guess we want to just find out a little bit more about the successes for this week. So, what were some of the things that you found to be extremely helpful? How are you coming along in your journey? Are you having a good time? Let's just find out from there what's helping you. And Brenda, go ahead if you want to start out.
Oh boy.
Put you on the spot.
I don't know what. Just trying to make every moment count. Trying to find little snippets of time to just fit in little things. Whether it just be walking more further distances to the store, or doing some squats while I'm waiting for supper to cook. I have 2 boys, and I'm always on the go with those guys, and a dog. So just trying to, my main struggle is trying to find windows of time to do things. My goal is to get up earlier in the morning and do like a 10-15 minute workout to kind of get the hour going, but I haven't been successful in doing that other than one day. So but then just trying to watch what I put in my mouth, cook a little healthier, make sure I'm putting my portion sizes in a container, count out my crackers. If I'm only going to have 6, I'm going to have 6. I'm not going to have the whole box, which I sometimes do. But especially at work, if you're just kind of stressed out and hungry, and you want to just grab whatever you have in your desk. But
Excellent. No, that's perfect, actually. And how has the challenge helped you put some of those things into perspective?
Just helping me be aware of what I'm doing, like being accountable for the time that I'm putting in, or the food that I'm putting in my mouth. If I write it down, I feel okay, I better not have the pudding if I'm gonna
Correct.
mark it down to some calories, or sugars. And my biggest downfall is the hidden sugar and everything, or even not the hidden sugar, but just even though I'm more of a salt person, I find that I struggle with the kind of whole belly fat issue, where everywhere else in my body I'm fine with, but it's like the spare tire just will not go away. So
Sure.
I struggle with
First on,
challenge.
last off for a lot of people. So it's kind of a place that's, I mean, we all deal with that obviously. And, but you keep chipping away, because when you run out of body fat in other places, then wherever it's still remaining, it runs out of places to run, right?
It comes there last, though. That's what I don't like. It leaves everywhere else first.
Yep, exactly. Lynn, how has your success been this week?
Well, I've been doing well. I haven't eaten a meal at home all week long, so that's been a challenge, but I've done well, and I guess what I'm choosing, so I'm still continuing to have progress on the weight end of things and trying to keep real busy, walking and being very mindful of exercise. I do maybe afterwards or some point, maybe I could talk to you. I have a sore knee from, I think just from all of the exercise all of a sudden, maybe, I don't know.
Just lately. I mean,
Yeah,
you've
so
dealt with a little bit of knee issues in the past, I remember that, but just now incorporate a little bit more exercise and it's been inflamed for you?
That's the same thing.
Okay. Sure, yeah,
But
we can definitely talk offline.
It's really been helpful at this time with everything that's going on, that I can just have something to focus when, instead of grabbing something. And I have to say that there's a lot of beer consumed making wine, and so I have a success every day in just having water.
Good for you. Yeah, one of the things that we talked about in the Zoom call, and we invited the RDFT page on board too, the team from there. But we had a Zoom call with them, and we really talked about how to streamline your day by getting started with jumping on the challenge and reading the material right away in the beginning, and then of course having the end of the day where you plug in all your information. And we might have talked about that last week too, but it's something where you can have that daily affirmation of where you're going to focus on your needs for the day. And a lot of the reading has really touched a lot of people and gone, oh, that's what I have not been following, or that's what I haven't been subscribing to.
Yeah.
It really does help. So it puts things into perspective, and then all day long you get to look forward to plugging in those points and collecting those points, so that you're not worried about doing it every time you eat, going in and doing a journal. Although that would be a great way to do it. But it's time consuming, and we want to make sure that this is simple and fun and easy. So Carrie and Chris, I know you guys are on mute, but successes with yourself and your teams this week?
Yeah, we have about 27 people in the team, and everybody is so motivating, and people losing pounds and getting out exercising. It's been really awesome to see people I have no idea who they are, haven't met, that people have invited them. So it's been really awesome to see, and it's still growing. People are still joining, so I think that's really exciting.
That's great, and that's really what these Zoom calls do. Is we want to make this a social community more so than just online and digital. If you have kids, you know what it's like to be constantly trying to fight that that in the screen, and we want to go face to face. We're still on the screen, but at least we can see people face to face and get to know each other a little bit better. So that is helpful. I see Carla has jumped on. She's on mute as well. But Carla, no visual, but can you hear us?
Can you hear me?
There, yeah, I took you off mute.
Oh,
You're all
okay.
good.
Yeah, I tried to get onto a different computer here where I have a video on it, but I can't get it to come up. So
No worries. We just keep practicing at that. It's always a little bit of technical difficulties. How was your week?
Pretty good. I gotta admit, last night we splurged. We went out for Mexican.
All right, Mexican lean and green. I love it.
Well, actually, it wasn't bad. We went to this different place hadn't been to before, and they had it was a quesadilla, so it had like the cheese and the tortilla, but it was full of vegetables. It was this little place out in Hillsdale, and it had all kinds of vegetables on it. So I was really pleased with that. So I felt, not quite so guilty.
No, absolutely.
So
I mean,
now, until today, I'll be right back on track again.
that's it. I mean, getting back on the saddle is always, important, and making those decisions. And that decision was a more healthy one than you may have had in times past. So that's awesome.
Oh yes, definitely. And I was just aware of everything I was eating too. So, and that's a big part of it.
Awesome. And Donna,
Yes.
tell us about your successes for last week.
Oh, let's see. I really enjoyed doing the readings and the challenge wall. I think those things were very helpful to keep you kind of in tune to our goals for the week. I also have tried to add an evening walk with my husband, even though I get up and walk with a group of neighbors and then go into some of the classes that I like to do at the gym. Still constantly trying to get in all the water. I think I've, pretty good with that, but I would like to improve and just keeping that hydration going. But otherwise, no, I think it's been a pretty good week to get back and stay focused.
Very cool. That is awesome. Any questions on the challenge stuff before we move on to kind of the little bit of information we want to provide you from a total energy expenditure standpoint? Anything else we can answer before we get into that?
Well, one question is, I keep trying to, I can reply, but when I'm supposed to, I know it's shared on the wall, but I'd like to do a comment to some of the individual postings, and I don't know, I don't seem to be hitting the right area. So that would be the only little question, but nothing urgent.
Okay. So it sounds like to me, and I'm sharing the screen here, if you want to talk to somebody, you go into your team, view your team, and then on the far left side, you should have the ability here to communicate with your team.
Okay.
And then if you're on the main screen, if you
right, the main screen.
Yeah, if you're on and if you're on the actual main screen and not the view your team page, then you're actually going to communicate with the entire 9,000 people that are in this particular challenge in our side of the world. So
when I
so if I were to
post it on share, I do that. But if you want to just make one comment to an individual, it'll come up, but that comment's not coming up. So anyway, go ahead.
Okay. We can look into that a little bit more and maybe do a tutorial on that. But I know that there's a message screen that will pop up. So
yeah, exactly.
Yep. Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, good to know. So let's get into a little bit about, because if you saw up on top, maybe I'll take it back here to our home screen here. You've got the option of following some 1,300 calorie menus or 1,300, 1,500, 1,800, 2,000, that kind of thing. So depending on your meal plan that you're following, we wanted to give some people just some perspective on what that looks like. So if I get into, I don't know if you guys, can you see that picture? Can you see the shell truck?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
No, what do you, no, we see the meltdown screen.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if this would work or not. It's an image that I'm showing, and I can paint the picture. It's pretty simple. It's a Shell gas truck, and the gas truck is a huge tanker. And obviously, it's being moved by a truck or a semi-truck that has a small gas tank underneath the cab, right? This is one of the things that I use as a visual to kind of explain fat burning and explain creating a calorie deficit. It is possible for this big truck, and I get to see it, it's really pretty, but this big truck has the potential of running out of gas on the interstate. And the irony is that you have this huge tank in the back, and this tank has thousands of gallons of gasoline that's going to be obviously put into a gas station pump, well someplace. But the whole idea with tapping into those backs, I mean, if this tractor truck could tap into the tank in the back, it could literally go for hundreds and thousands of miles probably around the world and back. So that's really what we want to do when we talk about creating a calorie deficit and tapping into fat burn. Every pound of body fat that we have that's expendable has 3,500 calories. So the trick is, how do we tap into that and use that instead of just the calories that we consume? So the challenges with that, obviously, is if we go on a high glycemic type of nutrition plan or high carbohydrate, what happens is we spike our insulin levels and then they drop. And there's some, Lynn would know this because Lynn's like a genius in chemistry and biology. But there's a leptin, that is a hormone that's created that actually tells your brain that you've had enough to eat. There's a feedback loop that comes around and tells you whether or not you're hungry or not. A lot of times with high fructose corn syrup and sugars and that kind of thing, which act pretty much the same, sugar and high fructose corn syrup, it will tell you that you're still hungry, even though you just had 64 ounces of Pepsi. Okay, there's other chemicals that are involved in soda and that kind of thing too that will tell you that you're taking in about the amount of sodium as a pizza in a drink. So now you have the salt that's coming in, you have some dehydration, you have that whole process going on. It's really telling yourself that you're still thirsty, even though you just had some liquid, but the liquid was obviously full of sodium. So there's some definite tricks of the trade to make sure that people never stop drinking soda. So with that being said, I want to take us over to another screen of how we can tap into, oh, sorry. Now I'm in a full picture of the thing. Get me out here. There we go. All right, I'm still figuring out Apple. For those of you who have been around Apple for a while, I'm still dealing with it, so still learning it. Okay, so shrink that baby down, and let me get into right here. This is a website that I use for body composition and a bunch of other things. There's some really great health information on this, and if we take it up here, it's actually healthcalc.com, and that's HEALTH-CALC.com, if you guys can see that up there. And then in one of the popular sections on the right, it says total energy expenditure. The reason that's important is because if we're honest with ourselves and we see how many daily calories we're really burning through, it gives us a starting point to figure out which one of those menus is going to be the most efficient or the most effective. And there's all kinds of trial and error that you can do with this too. I mean, you can figure out that if you're too good during the day and you've only had 1,000 calories and it's coming down to evening time and now all you want to do is just eat, chances are you're not finding that sweet spot of where your calories should be. And or you're having those dips in insulin because of high glycemic foods and that kind of thing. So the thing I really want to point out with this is, okay, we put our age, our weight, our height, and being really honest with how much intense exercise. And this, coming from the fitness industry for the last 20 years, this is probably the biggest mistake people make in regards to exercise, because guess what? Walking the dog 3 times a week is not intense exercise. It's encouraged, and it's moderate exercise or light exercise even, and it may even be standing and walking. But a lot of the misinformation that was out there just wanted to get people moving. So it was any amount of moving was going to be very helpful, but that can be frustrating from an exercise standpoint if you're not seeing progress. So if we were to take a look at this, and I put in basically in our 60-minute workout classes that I do at the studio, about 30 minutes of it is going to be extremely high intensity. And a big part of the other stuff that I do throughout the day, whether it's teaching classes and moving equipment around and doing these things, might be considered moderate to light exercise. So I'm just kind of breaking it down into what that looks like. Sleep, of course, and then sitting is probably the biggest chunk of the day, obviously, and then standing, walking, getting from place to place. All of these are going to give you points. So if I were to reduce this, you can see my calories are going lower. Okay. Now this total calorie amount is basically for me to maintain. Okay. 3,700 calories it seems like a lot. I'm pretty active that way. Where it's going to look like for most of us is basically now what we have to do, or what I have to do in determining if I have a fat loss goal, is figuring out a calorie deficit. And that's generally going to be about 500 calories a day. So if I was doing a nutrition plan based on this, I would probably be around 3,000 calories or so. And I'd be figuring out my percentages of carbohydrates, fats, and proteins and what that looks like. And then following that throughout the week, and provided that I did that as perfectly as I could, I would know in about a week to 10 days if I need to adjust up or adjust down in total calories. Not based on, oh, I'm feeling a little hungry, or I could really use some chocolate cake and ice cream, something like that, but just saying this is showing me progress and I'm seeing results with my exercise. But you can see how important it is to get that movement going on. If I drop my exercise, if I don't get to work out for a week, 700 calories are taken off right there. And if I continue to follow my same nutrition plan, that's going to creep in a little bit. So I'm still looking at ways of tapping into stored body fat in order to accomplish that. So this is a great thing for you to kind of put that in perspective and then creating that calorie deficit. Now, what's a little bit different is if you're following a very low carbohydrate meal plan or something like the 5-in-1, where you can actually tap into your fat stores much easier because you're in a light state of ketosis, then the total calorie amount is not as important because the mechanisms involved are completely different. So that's keeping your insulin levels at a constant state of you tapping into that big tank, the big tanker truck, instead of using that little tank in the front that when it starts to get empty, the red light comes on and it's telling you you need to eat something. You're getting ready to be really hungry here and you won't have any energy, is what your brain is telling you, even though you know you have some tanker calories stored up, right? Because we all do. And again, every pound is about 3,500 calories. So if we can tap into that, we have a limited supply of calories. There's another one that might put this into perspective too, and this is, again, using a goal of maintenance and a goal of exercising and showing that 3,700 calories again as what's expected for me to burn. And then, of course, my food log would allow me to consume, and then this should, at the end of the day, should be about 0, right? So this is another app that we can supply you with if you're interested, but that Health Calc one is really a very simple one, but now you have to do the math to figure out what your calorie deficit is going to be. Another good way of doing that is taking your body weight and multiplying that by 12 if you have a moderate weight loss goal. And then you can even take your body weight and multiply it by 10 if you have if fat loss is your main goal. And then we'll give you a good starting point. You can make adjustments from that. So hopefully that gives you just a little bit of a base to kind of start from. So if you're questioning how much should I be eating, where am I at, that kind of thing, then this gives you kind of a starting point. Otherwise, again, if you're following the 5-in-1 meal plan, it's all laid out for you, and really everybody takes in the same amount of calories. We get into that conversation, how that science works out later. But again, if you can just visualize tapping into those stored calories, if you've got 20 pounds to lose, then 20 times 3,500 calories, you can see where those calories are coming from. But the nutrients, your foods are dense in nutrients so that you're not creating kind of a starvation mode, and that's the reason why it's successful. So that is the total energy expenditure and how to determine that. So hopefully that was helpful. And if you snoop around that web page, you'll see things from body composition charts to BMI is on there with the same type of cool app. You can just go in there really easily and spin the dial, and it will show you all those numbers. So hopefully that wasn't science and confusion for everybody. But is there any questions I can answer in regards to that?
So when you're looking at your total calories, and let's say you exercise, like you do like the boot camp, say 3 times a week. So on those days, you're burning more calories. And if you're like in a maintenance sort of mode, so do you use like your average? I mean, because obviously some days you're going to be burning many more calories. Or do you adjust your calories from day to day, or do you just go from an average every day if you're exercising consistently?
Yeah, I would shoot for that average, because that'll be a good spot. I mean, unless you go through unless you're injured or something happens where you just cannot move nearly as much as you did, you didn't really have to create that much greater deficit. It should kind of catch itself up, and then you'll know on an average whether or not you need to make that adjustment.
Okay.
Yeah, so I wouldn't because that gets complicated. So I definitely wouldn't promote that as something that would, something that you would have to focus on. Candy, is there anything you wanted to add to that, or Carrie, was that helpful for you? I know you had a question on total energy expenditure, finding that link as well. So hopefully that adds some light to some people that had questions.
Yeah, no, that was helpful. And yeah, just helping my members understand, you know, how to figure out which their calories, if they're losing weight loss and they're not using a 5-in-1.
Right. Okay.
No, I had nothing to add regarding that, so it was good.
Okay, so cool. So anyway, if you do have questions, you can chat online. You can call us, text us, whatever works for you. Let's find out. Okay, Candy, tell us a little bit more about the fun drawing that we want to do for everybody.
Okay, so I'm going to put everyone on mute for a second. I hear some feedback, so after I get done sharing, I will take you off mute and we can all chat again. So hold on a second. Okay, can you hear me? Yes? Okay. So today is the 28th, and as you may or may not have been aware, that we have extended our challenge to inviting people into our rooms until the 30th of the month, which is Tuesday. So mine and Casey's personal goal with our team challenge is to grow our group up to 50 people. So right now we're at 40 people, and we just have 10 more to go. And so we're asking, for those of you who want to participate, or you feel like you still have family and friends who would really benefit from the community and the support of what we're growing here, to invite them to join us. So what we want to do is throw out kind of a contest out there. And for every participant that your friend or family or whomever joins our challenge within the next 3 days, we're going to put your name into a drawing. So if you invite 5 people and they all 5 join, you'll get your name in the drawing 5 times. And so what we're going to do is we're going to draw one $25 gift card. And because we all live differently within the United States, we have to figure out where that gift card might go to. So one possible thing that Casey suggested was maybe iTunes. I know Starbucks is a big one for us out here, Whole Foods, something like that. So we'll kind of brainstorm a little bit. But anyway, we want to just encourage you, invite you to continue to invite your friends and family to join us. I'm going to unmute you now, and then let me all know if you all know how to invite people from your challenge page. Anyone have questions on that? Nope, we all know. Okay, so go ahead and use your invite link from your challenge page, because then that will directly associate the person that you invite to your name, and we know who you invited, and that and then of course we can welcome them and thank you. So anyway, 3 more days. Our goal is to get up to 50 people to reach. Obviously, the more people that we reach, we're encouraging hope and health and inspiration, you know, all across the United States. So that's what we're doing. In Case, did you want to do something about the Discover Your Optimal Health?
Yeah, one of the first readings, I had a great book that was called Discover Your Optimal Health that Dr. Wayne Scott Anderson has put out there. It's a very short read, but it's all about you determining why you're wanting to not only do this challenge, but why you want to become healthy. And so that's been a really popular item for a lot of our clients when we get them started. Oftentimes we'll have them read that book because it puts your mind in the spot where you're doing this and you're making those adjustments. So what we want to do for everybody that's on this call is, this is a really simple one because you guys were on here, but if you can post in our team wall, and we're going to give you a code word, and anybody who watches this video will also have this opportunity, but put in the code DYOH, which is Discover Your Optimal Health, someplace on a post, so you get a point, because you can obviously post on the wall, so you'll get a point for that. But if you just put that down, DYOH, then we'll put you in a drawing for a chance to win the Discover Your Optimal Health book. And if you're in another state, that's no issue at all. We'll ship it out to you. But we find that this is really a valuable tool. And I'm not a very fast reader because I fall asleep when I start reading, but this is But this was a book that I could read in less than 2 days. So it is a quick read. There are some pictures. Yay. But yeah, exactly. So so we want to put that out there. So go ahead and post DYOH. We'll put you in the drawing for that, and continue to invite friends and family, and encourage those people that missed the call, if you invited them, to jump on and just kind of get to know the community a little bit more.
So any questions regarding the 2 drawings that we have going on? So the incentive for inviting more challengers to our team, the DYOH, Discover Your Optimal Health book. And then Lynn, was it you? Did you have a question on the health assessment? You weren't finding that?
On what?
On the health assessment? The survey?
Oh, yeah. I don't remember seeing, I remember starting to fill something out, and I don't know if I got to the end of it, but I don't remember a score. Can I look at it again, what I did?
Let's see, Casey, can you share your screen to the, go to the team wall? Let me see if I can do it. Okay, go to our team page. And then scroll down just a little bit. Keep going.
What kind of apples did you get, Lisa?
Okay, go up.
Are they good?
Sorry, I don't have this on.
They're kind of soft.
Look at you, Carla. DYO.
Yeah.
Well, I got 2 computers going here because I had planned, hoping to get video, but
Casey, go ahead and scroll up just a second.
Yeah, do they
Scrolling up is this way.
Yes. Okay, stop right there. So do you see where it says earn participation points now?
Yeah, yes,
Okay, and then right below it, it says complete your health assessment test.
yes,
Okay, does yours show that it's done? And maybe you
Yes.
don't know right now. It does?
Yes.
Okay, so I have heard that there was a little bit of a glitch that people couldn't get all the way through that test. So in that email that I sent you asking about your assessment score, there is a link to this assessment. You can just go ahead and take it again. And then,
oh, okay,
yeah, because I sent you a whole different link to access it, you'll be able to easily take it, finish it, and then get your score.
okay,
And then I believe on your profile page, when you log into your own profile, you can put in your score on that page.
okay, thank you.
Yep. Okay, anything else, you guys? I think we kind of ran over a little bit on time, but hopefully it was worth your time.
It was great, thank you.
All right, guys, have a great week. We want to encourage the awesome success and participation, and keep chatting on the wall, because it is inspiring. There are a lot of people who are just kind of like, what do you call them, fly on the wall, who are inspired by everybody's stories and everybody's discussion. And we hope that at some point they feel comfortable enough to kind of chime in as well. So just keep up the great work, guys, and have an awesome rest of your Sunday.
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you. Bye.